there guys, Crazy Brush Girl here from Highway 49 RC. If you want to help support me in continuing to restore pieces of RC history just like this one, consider becoming a member of the channel. Also, real quick before we start, if there is anything that you guys want to see more of or less of in these videos, because I love doing motor rebuilds, so there's going to be more of these. If there's things that you guys want to see more of, certain aspects of the rebuild more in depth than I'm showing, let me know in the comments. Anyways, today I want to work on restoring and rebuilding this Trinity Speed Gems 2 Sapphire 17-turn single motor. I jumped on this motor so fast about a week ago. It is just unbelievably clean. Got it for a killer deal. I mentioned it in the last rebuild video. Can is super clean. Sticker is amazingly glossy. Like, it almost doesn't look like it's ever been run. It has, obviously, but like no scratches, no dings. I do see some corrosion on the aluminum heatsinks, but we can just brush that off, of course. Clean up the little bits of solder on the tabs, clip off those capacitors. I did notice when I was messing around with this off camera a little bit, I pulled out one of the brushes and found something kind of interesting and different. Let's take a look real quick. I've already popped off the brush springs. As you can see, it looks like someone clipped off their old eyelet brush and soldered on their new solder-on brush, and I commend their effort for that. But that's not what I'm here to show you. Check this out. If I pull the brush out, so A, it's got a split in it, but B, it's supposed to be a laydown brush. I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think, as you can see, it's curved in this direction, and they put it in this way. So obviously this is the way it is now, because it's being used as a stand-up brush right now. But I think it was originally designed to be a laydown brush. I'm not sure why the slot is in there. If someone could let me know in the comments, that'd be awesome. I'm thinking maybe faster break-in or maybe less rotational resistance, something like that. Because as you can see, there are some remnants of the serrations on it. So it was a serrated brush, and you can see the serrations are going in the direction that the commutator would be spinning if it was being used as a laydown brush. So I'm going to discard these for now. I'm going to hang on to them in case I come up with a motor that needs a laydown brush. But I'll be installing some fresh brushes on this since these have been soldered on. I don't really like that. And obviously, like I mentioned, it's a laydown brush, not a stand-up. Got all my parts laid out here, ready to be cleaned up. This timing ring screw right here was very difficult to remove. It stripped out, looks like it was rusted a bit. I do have an extra one. I might have 2 extras, so I will be replacing those. In addition, let's take a look at our commutator real quick. Comm looks pretty good. We'll definitely be able to turn it. Looks like it's been cut once or twice. In terms of the wear pattern, kind of interesting. Because of the brushes that were being used, you can see the more coppery colored spots there where the proud points of the brush were running. And then the space in the middle there, I'm not exactly sure why that's the color it is. Maybe it was being run with a laydown brush at one point. That's kind of what it looks like. Something else interesting that I noticed is The commutator tabs. It looks like it may have been rewound at one point. It might have, it might not have. It's hard to know. Probably not, but that doesn't look factory. This here is our Sapphire. This down here is a wasted platinum armature. As you can see, the commutator tabs on the Sapphire look like they have been redone or recrushed. As you can see, the ones on the platinum are nice and clean with no marring, as opposed to the ones on the Sapphire. You can see looks like someone has gone after them with a hammer and maybe a screwdriver or something. So, food for thought, this could be a rewound armature, but it's hard to know. Also, just an interesting point is to compare the gauge of wire between the Sapphire and the platinum. A single wind motor will have thicker gauge wire as opposed to a double wind, and a double wind will have thicker gauge wire as opposed to a triple wind. And as you can see here, the single wind Sapphire has much thicker gauge wire than the triple wind platinum. With all that said, let's get all these parts nice and clean. Now that right there, you guys, is a beautifully cut comb. Gorgeous. All right, let's go oil up those can bearings and put this motor back together. Let's go ahead and dab some oil in there, get that spun around. And that bearing feels fantastic. Absolutely top tier, nice and smooth, no grit, feels almost brand new. Let's check out the end bell one, see if it will be similar. Yep, just as good. Feels fantastic. All right, with our bearings lubricated, one more thing I gotta do before I put this motor back together is decide what brushes I want to use, because I have a few options here. I've got some Holmes Hobbies soft copper brushes, Holmes Hobbies silver stand-up brushes, which the silver ones are going to be more durable, they'll last longer. And I also have some Trinity XXX stand-up brushes, which are also silver and, you know, same thing, long life. However, these ones do not have the eyelets on them. So, with that in mind, I think I'm probably just gonna go with the standard soft copper ones for right now, because I don't really plan on running this motor. If I was planning on using this motor extensively in the future, I might switch over to the silver stand-ups, just so that they last longer, you know. But I think for now I'm just going to stick with the eyelet soft copper stand-up ones from Holmes Hobbies. With our end bell all put together and ready to go, nice and clean with brand new brushes, it's time to align our brush hoods. And here we are once again, ready for the final assembly of this motor. I've already got my shims on the armature, and with our brush hoods aligned, we are ready to put this thing all the way back together for good. And there you have it. Our Speed Gems 2 Sapphire 17-turn single motor is fully rebuilt. This thing looks fantastic. I love the bright blue color on it. Blue is one of my favorite colors, if you don't know. I'm a huge fan of this motor for sure. So with that, I think it's time for a quick test. There we go. Look at that. Now check that out. That's interesting. The current on this motor was only about 2 amps or so, as opposed to the kryptonite that we did the other day was like 6.5 or almost 7. That has to do with the number of winds and the number of turns. Wait, is that the same thing? No, they're different. Winds is like single, double, or triple, and turns is how many times the wire is wrapped around each armature segment. And there you have it, guys. My brand new to me Trinity Speed Gems 2 Sapphire 17-turn single motor is fully rebuilt. I gotta say, the blue looks phenomenal, especially with all the silver and chrome on the end bell. Just looks so, so good. Oh hey, matches my hat too. Anyway, thank you for sticking along with this video. I think that's all I've got to say. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you have enjoyed. If you did, please do leave a big fat thumbs up. If this does happen to be the first video that you have seen by me, make sure you go down, hit that subscribe button, leave a comment down below. And as always, support me on Patreon, join my Discord server, follow me on Instagram at highway49_RC, and become a member of the channel. All those things would be fantastic and help me out a bunch. So that's all I've got to say, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Crazy Brush Girl, out.